Here we have the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments section below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we're trying to move out as much as possible here with this chart. We're currently looking at the 30-minute time frame. So each candle on this time frame will represent a 30-minute trading period. We're trying to move out here as much as possible, but what we really need to do is identify whether or not this stock is actually in the process of forming a bottom or not. So, there are a couple of arguments that can be made in both directions. And in this video, we're going to be looking at some specific price zones to hopefully identify some profitable trading strategies for this stock going forward. So currently what we're dealing with here is a bit of a formation of another sideways trading range. So as we can see here, this prior trading range really developed between roughly 433 and 460. There were some prior price highs into 469, but the majority of this activity really did occur between roughly 435 and 460. And that is a very tight trading range for a stock like Super Micro Computer. Anybody that's familiar with the stock's longer term history knows that this ticker can be extremely volatile in both directions. You can see some very significant upside price movements and some very significant downside price movements. There's a lot that goes on with this stock, and a lot of that can happen in a very short period of time. So to see the development of a sideways trading range that's this small is really surprising. And then it does start to look like currently what we're seeing is another one of those trading ranges start to develop. So currently what we're really looking at here is a downside support zone that has formed right around 455.30 would roughly be the price area here. So we're just going to sort of update this price zone here because we have started to move higher a bit by about $3. So currently to the downside, what we're looking at is a roughly range support zone coming in at right around 455.30. And then to the top side, the majority of this price action is occurring below 478. So, the near term high here does come in right around 483.40. But the majority of this price action really is happening, probably below 478. So you're dealing with roughly $20 of range distance here, and again, this is roughly the same size as this prior trading range. So what we're starting to see here, really is a series of consolidation type movements. And if you're bullish on this stock, the encouraging part of this is that these ranges are developing at higher and higher levels. So we are sort of taking the stairs higher here. We are seeing some evidence that the stock price has managed to stabilize. For the most part, as long as this structure continues, as long as this trend wave type of movement continues with higher lows and marginally higher highs, we can maintain a bullish outcome here, or at least a bullish outlook, expecting a bullish outcome. So, if we look at the indicator reading here, what we're really dealing with at the moment, is a bit of a conflicting signal as well, because we do have some trend waves here that are occurring in both directions. The shorter term trend wave is in the bearish direction, as we can see here. So most of this movement to the downside has occurred since roughly the September 11 trading session. And we have seen this trend wave here now tested 3 times, and share prices tend to move lower whenever that occurs. But the longer term trend wave here does show momentum that is focused on the top side. So really this begins, this would be right around this would be the 6th of September. So a slightly longer term, trend momentum reading here. And we are starting to come under pressure here relatively soon, it looks like. So what we really need to see in the relative strength index at this point is a bounce from this trend line. If this does occur, then that would suggest that this longer term trend momentum in the bullish direction does continue to influence share prices. However, if we see a break lower here, that would be a negative signal, because that would then suggest that this uptrend has resolved itself, completed itself, exhausted itself, and is no longer going to be influencing share prices. That doesn't mean that you can't develop a new upside trend in momentum, but it would mean that this current trend here has run its course and has finalized. So, there are some signals here which suggest that we could start to be coming under pressure here. But what we really need to see is for share prices to bounce enough to allow this indicator reading to continue maintaining itself in the bullish direction. The way things look here, if we do see another bounce off of this range bottom, let's sort of zoom in here a bit here. So if we do see a bounce off of somewhere around here, for example, and that's entirely possible because we would still be inside of the exponential moving average cluster. As we can see here, this rising purple line here does come in fairly close contact with this range bottom. So, it wouldn't be surprising to see some sort of a bounce like this roughly, and then allow share prices to test the top end of that trading range once again. I mean, if that does not occur, the bearish scenario here would be that this range breaks to the downside. We lose that exponential moving average support, and then this series of higher lows starts to complete itself. So, there are some opposing scenarios here. I do think that the balance of the evidence here does still favor the top side. And then historically, we're still trading at very low levels, at least at least in terms of the price action that has occurred this year. If we look longer term, we are sort of trading near that sort of pre-breakout point, that breakout that ultimately unfolded in that movement to 1229. Those all-time highs. We're relatively close to trading near that area once again. But when you see share price movements into above $1,000 per share, and then dramatic movements like this, I mean, it just seems incredibly unlikely to me at this point that we would continue to see share prices continue to head lower or even break these new lows. I mean, in my view, the real issue is whether or not this support at 382.88 has now completed itself as the final bottom for this trend wave movement. In my view, that probably is the case. I really don't expect to see lower lows from there. But on the shorter term basis, we do need to continue watching the trend here because there is still scope that area could be retested. I mean, that wouldn't be a major surprise to see share prices move low enough to sort of retest that 382 level once again, and then sort of ensure or confirm that this is actually the long term price low. I mean, that would not be surprising to see an outcome like that. So, the main issue is whether or not we continue to see higher lows form for this stock, and then whether or not ultimately that 382 level breaks to the downside. So here's the current stock market update for Super Microcomputer, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.